Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So today our group will be presenting about the HR issue that we chose, which is McDonald's. So I will introduce McDonald's, a company that has been serving delicious food for over 80 years. So McDonald's was founded in 1940 by two brothers in California. Now it's one of the biggest fast food companies in the world. The mission is simple: to make a delicious food, create a feel-good moment, make it easy for everyone to enjoy. This means every visit should be tasty, fun, and also convenient. Its vision to grow fast and serve even more customers every day around the world. McDonald's purpose is to feed and support the communities, showing its care beyond just your food. The company values people first, inclusion, integrity, teamwork, and being a good neighbors. These values guide everything McDonald's does, from speed and affordability to quality and trust. And who do they serve? Families, young adults, millennials, value seekers, and even health-conscious customers. Basically, people all around the world. So that's a quick review of McDonald's. Next, we move on to discuss the HR issue. Now, we will talk about the HR issue at McDonald's. Even though McDonald's promised stronger anti-harassment rules in 2021, problems are still happening. There are evidence in the article that many employees who reported the harassment showed no action, and some even face consequences. This shows that what the company say and what really happened are very different. Another problem that occurs in the article that the rules are unclear and not well explained to many employees. Training is weak and there are few real consequences when someone violates the rules. Because of this, employees face emotional stress, financial loss, and problems in their career. The lack of clear action and honesty from the company allow harassment to continue, making employees frustrated and losing trust in management. So that's all the HR issue at McDonald's. Now we will see which stakeholders are affected by this problem.
Moving on to the next part is stakeholders affected by the HR issues. The first one is employees. Employees were the most affected by the HR issues. The article actually highlighted some real cases such as Rosalia Menor, a long-time McDonald's employee that actually reported sexual harassment cases, but she was later then fired and then the harasser continued working. Second example is Cindy Pamela Meja that actually repeated reporting the sexual harassment issues, but actually no action was taken by the management. This example shows that the workers actually face unsafe working environment, emotional distress, and also retaliation after reporting the harassment. Second is management and also the franchise owners. They were responsible for implementing the McDonald's global brand standard. However, in the article mentioned that they failed to actually enforce the policies or the standard about the sexual harassment. It addressed how the managers actually ignored the reports and also did not investigate the cases in detail. This placed franchise owners at the risk of reputational damages and also loss of the trust from the employees due to their lack of management, especially in the human resources area. The last one is the customers. Customers were indirectly affected by the HR issues. Mentioned in the article, after the public reports of sexual harassment has been made, it damaged the McDonald's reputation as a safe and also ethical employer. When the customer learned that the employees were unsafe at the workplace, their trust in the brand may decline. This will result in McDonald's declining in the sales and also overall public image. Next is discussion of the issue. The first one is unclear and weak enforcement of the harassment policy. Although McDonald's actually had formal policies addressing the sexual harassment, these guidelines were not applied across the franchise operations. Many employees were either unaware of the policies or unsure how they were enforced. Second one is ineffective reporting systems and retaliation. In some cases, individuals who actually reported misconduct experienced negative consequences such as reduced working shift and also work termination. This shows injustice where the victims' issues will remain unsolved. And lastly, for the discussion, poor leadership and also HR oversight. Management, mainly the HR departments, actually did not take any decisive action on the harassment when the complaints were raised. Perpetrators were actually allowed to continue working without any consequences, while the victims actually received no support and also justice. This lack of accountability creates a toxic environment, which harassment became normalized in the working culture. Overall, the discussion in the article mainly highlighted the failure of McDonald's Human Resources Department to overcome the issues of harassment.
So moving on to the recommended solutions to address sexual harassment at McDonald's. So the first one being accountability and enforcement. McDonald's must enforce visible and strict penalties for harasser for managers who fail to act. In the article, we can see that even after employees reported harassment to manager or HR, nothing was done. And in some cases, employees were punished instead. For example, Rosalia Manuel, a long-time shift manager, reported harassment by another manager and was fired shortly afterward. If proper accountability were applied, such as disciplining the harasser and protecting the reporter, workers would be safer and more willing to come afterward. Secondly, effective interactive training. McDonald's needs interactive human-led training, not just short computer videos. In the article, employees describe the training they actually received, which in the cases of Fernando Valencia, who experienced harassment from a store manager, said the only training he was given was a part of an 8-hour job training with only 30 minutes dedicated to workplace communication. It neither equipped him to understand harassment laws nor empowered him to address it. Similarly, Zoe Newsom watched a very short slideshow on harassment during her orientation. It wasn't helpful and didn't prepare her to handle situations where customers or coworkers harassed her. These examples show why training must go beyond passive videos. It needs to be thoughtful, scenario-based, and ongoing, so employees recognize harassment and know how to respond. Moving on to the third one, transparency and accessibility. Third, McDonald's must ensure the policies are clear, accessible, and well publicized. Currently, workers weren't even aware of the global harassment standards because McDonald's kept them secret. For example, Valencia said that although he heard there should be information posted about harassment, reporting no tenemos nada, which is they had nothing posted in the break room. Without clear accessible policies in languages employees understand, workers don't know their rights or the process for reporting harassment. Making this information public and visible would strengthen awareness and empower employees. Lastly, mutual investigation and retaliation prevention. The companies must investigate reports impartially and protect complaints from retaliation. In the McDonald's cases, workers who reported harassment often face retaliation. For example, after reporting his manager harassment, Valencia found his hours were cut and he lost opportunities for overtime. And another worker, Ashanti Torres Rodriguez, reported a coworker repeatedly touching her, but the general manager didn't investigate or change her schedule. She later suffered panic attacks and had to quit. These examples highlight why neutral investigators, not supervisors who may be friends with the harasser, are not necessary, and why workers must be protected from retaliation. In summary, accountability prevents harassers from acting with impunity. Secondly, interactive training prepares employees to identify and respond to harassment. Transparent policy ensure workers how their rights and reporting options. Neutral investigations and retaliation protections ensure complaints are taken seriously and safely. So therefore, by implementing these solutions, McDonald's can move from broken premises to real change, protecting workers and creating safer workplaces.
Let's move on to the next part, which is Islamic perspective. My first point is protection of human dignity. It can be defined as an act of safeguarding inherent worth and value of every person. It is very important because everyone has the right to be treated with fairness, justice, compassion, and respect. Islam also emphasizes on upholding human dignity of each individual, like mentioned in Surah Al-Isra. The translation means, and we have certainly honored the children of Adam. The next one is zero tolerance for oppression. Any act of exploitation and harassment can be considered as an act of zulm or injustice. It's totally against with the Islamic teachings. Allah mentioned in the Hadith Qudsi, Allah SWT has forbidden the act of oppression for himself and also for all of us, the servant, to harm each other. Whoever intentionally commits harm invites the hatred of Allah SWT. The last one is leaders are accountable. Leaders or those in position of authority must take responsibility of their action and decision. It is a form of fulfilling responsibility from Allah SWT. Leaders that carry out responsibility with adil and amanah is held high regard in the sight of Allah SWT. Responding to the act of zulm, providing good environment, and also avoiding bias during judgment is also criteria of accountable leaders.
To conclude this presentation, I divide it into 4 categories. Firstly,
Commitment without strong enforcement is ineffective. Introducing global standards doesn't mean anything if you don't have strong enforcement and also consistent accountability. They might look well prepared with proper management by having this global standard, but it is solely on paper. Next, harassment and retaliation still exist due to failure in corporate responsibility and also workplace ethics. Some workers being fired, some having hours reduced, and also minors being harmed just shows that reforms fail. That also proves that corporate responsibility and also workplace ethics just fail as a whole. Next, systematic failure in franchise model. Headquarters or the upper management can set standards, and it is the responsibility of these branches to apply and adhere to the standards. But little that they know that the failure of this management doesn't only affect the branch, it also affects the branding of the company. So you might think that, oh, this is the problem of the branch, but it is also the issue of the upper management, because when they set the standard, they have to do regular checking in order to ensure that these branches sticks to the standard, because this gap between branch and also upper management make the employee feels that they don't have that workplace safety because they are not close with the upper management. Lastly, ethical responsibility beyond legal compliance. Like I said, they set the standard and rules only on paper. They focus on legal protection and their own reputation. So, however, in reality, corporate responsibility goes beyond legal standards but requires prioritizing human dignity and safety.